Hello and welcome to this Chi-Prime video, where again we solve a question for the GMAT. I'll give you a second to read the question and pause the video if you'd like so you can solve the question yourself, and then we'll solve it together. Right, so let's begin. The cube of an integer x is equal to its reciprocal. We learned before that a reciprocal is 1 over an integer, right? So this can translate into the equation x cubed is equal to 1 over x. All right, so let's multiply both sides by x. With that, we get x to the fourth equal to 1, or x raised to the fourth power minus 1 equal to 0. Now, in exam conditions, this is most easily solved by plugging in the different values that are provided to you in the options. And from the options provided, we see that both x equal to 1 and x equal to minus 1 satisfy this equation. So, for example, minus 1 raised to 4 equals 1 raised to 4 equal to 1. So x raised to 4 minus 1 equal to 0 for both these values of x. So the option we want is option C. However, just so we understand how to do our algebra correctly, let's also solve this from first principles. By factoring x to the 4 minus 1, that is the equation that we have, just so we understand how to do this. We know from simple algebra that a squared minus b squared factors as a plus b times a minus b, right? We can multiply this out to check it if we want. Multiplying it out, we get a squared plus ab minus b squared, which simplifies to a squared minus b squared, because these two terms cancel out. So this is a correct factorization. So x to the fourth minus 1 could also be factored as x squared plus 1 times x squared minus 1, right? X to the fourth is a squared and 1 is b squared in this case, equal to 0. And then x squared minus 1 further factors as x plus 1 times x minus 1. Solving this, we see from x minus 1, we get x equal to 1 as a possible answer. X plus 1, we get x equal to minus 1 as a possible answer. And this term is interesting because it says x squared equals minus 1. As we know, in the domain of real numbers, the square of all real numbers are positive. So the square root of those numbers, square root of negative numbers, are not within the real domain. And besides, we're told that x is an integer. See, it says integer x in the question. So x squared minus equals minus 1 does not yield a solution that we can use to satisfy the conditions of this problem. So this is in the complex domain, which is outside the scope of GMAT, So we ignore this for now, and the two answers that we want are the ones that we have here. X equals 1, x equals minus 1, and the option again is option C. Thank you for watching.